All right, good evening, folks. Johnson took the face off, gets it back to Armitrout. Armitrout throws it behind the Minnetonka Black net. Picked up. Sportsbow must have crossed, puck must have crossed the line. We're going to get offsides call on CCHA. Well, it's a balmy, probably 32 degrees in here, pretty chilly. Hoping they'll turn the heaters on. We'll see what happens. Johnson steps back in and takes face off. He's got Swarth out to the left. Looks like Ulrich to the right. Puck comes back. Or that was Swarth out taking the face off. And fired into the Minnetonka zone. Puck comes out. Minnetonka. One of the boards. Armitage fights for it. Gets it back to Swarthout. Swarthout passes it over to Heidi for a Schwartzbow. Swarthout kicks it up to Johnson. And Johnson couldn't get a shot off. He brings it into the corner. Fighting for it. Picked up by Tonka. They shovel it ahead. Heidi gets it back into the zone. No offsides call there. Comes all the way back. Leela's in net tonight. Picked up by Armentrout. They skated up and in. Comes in. Shot. Well saved by Minnetonka, but puck's free. Reichert's there, but he couldn't get to it in time. Reichert's tied up alongside the boards. Picked up by Ulrich. Ulrich sends it up to Armentrout. Armentrout tries to send it back down low. Puck comes up to center ice. Picked up by Minnetonka. Shot goes wide of the net. Reichert goes into the corner. He's fighting for it. Gets him help by Armentrout. Armentrout gets it out to Davis. Davis gets checked off the puck. Minnetonka wraps around. Nice save by Leela. Goes back behind the net. Armentrout, Reichert, and Reichert will come away with it. He pushes it up the board, trying to get it to Hagen. Hagen swipes at it. Picked up by Minnetonka, and the shot is saved by Leela. All right, 13 minutes and 17 seconds left here in the first period. The score is all tied at 0-0. Lorenzen line out there. Lorenzen take the face off. He's got Erickson to his right. Christensen to his left. Lorenzen's going to get flipped off the line. Christensen takes the face off. Comes back to Davis. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Rasmussen up front. Puck comes out. Heinrich picked it up, or Davis picked it up, sends it over to the boards. Lorenzen throws it back, gets it up to Erickson. Comes up to the point for Minnetonka. They'll send it back down low. Comes all the way back around the back of the net. Chasing after is David and Lorenzen. Picked up by Minnetonka. Comes up to the point. Shot goes back down low. Puck comes back out. Rasmussen gets shoved into the boards. Comes up to Erickson. Right, stays in the zone. Minnetonka throws it out front. It's deflected by Davis. Saved by Leela. Davis picks it up in the corner. He's going to throw it all the way down. It hits somebody on the bench for CCHA. So we're going to get a break in coverage here, a break in action. We switched the lines out a little bit here. Johnson stepping in for the face-off. I believe it's Ulrich up front. Puck comes back. Goes into the corner. Swarth out alongside the boards. Puck goes back to net. Sestefan takes a swipe at it. Comes back to Johnson. Johnson sends it up to Ulrich. Ulrich gets tangled up alongside the board. And there's Ulrich. And Swarthout is going to get a shot at it. He gets in. He's got 1-2. He drops it for Sestefan. But Sestefan overskated just a little bit. That comes out to center. Shot. Nice save by Leela. Puck goes back behind the net. Comes out to the point for Talk. Another shot on Leela. Puck comes out, goes into the corner. Back to the point for Minnetonka. Shot gets all the way through. And goal. A lot of action out front. Just couldn't get a stick on it to clear the zone. Looks like the next line will be the Reichert line, and that's Heinert will be to his left, Hagen to his right. That back is going to be Armentrout and Eide. Reichert wins the face-off, sends it to the right. Eide gets there, sends it into the Minnetonka area. Reichert's there in the corner, mixing it up. Gets it to Heinert, Heinert to Hagen. Puck is still loose out front. Armentrout pitches. Puck comes back to Eide. Eide sends it over to the boards and back up to Hagen. Hagen loses the puck, picked up by Tonka to carry it into the CCHA zone. He goes around back, gets it in the corner. Armentrout will pick it up. Heinert comes alongside. He'll shove it up to, sorry, that was Reichert. Gets it up to Heinert. Heinert loses the puck, comes into Minnetonka. Heinert's there to swat that puck away. Puck comes along to Hagen. Back to Reichert. Reichert flips it along the boards, and it goes into the bench again, and we're going to get a whistle. Oh, nope. We're going to get a penalty. It's going to be a cross check. And it looks like it is going to be against Tonka.
She's asking, Caitlin Johnson's asking.
Yes, it's being streamed.
I know it is, but maybe it's, I'm just saying.
Yes, the game is being streamed for anybody who's looking for it. Lorenzen in to take the face off. Christensen to his right. Erickson to his right. Christensen to his left. Back is Armentrout and Davis. CCHA will go up on a power play for the next few minutes. We're waiting to get the penalty posted. And there it is. Lorenzen takes it, pushes it into the corner. It's thrown by Minnetonka alongside. Armentrout takes it, throws it back behind the net. Erickson chasing after it. It's thrown out front. Davis will pick it up. He throws it back into the corner. It comes all the way around. Davis will keep it in. He shoves it down low. It'll come all the way around. Armentrout will pinch. Keep it into the zone. Christensen in to help it out. Erickson in along with it. Comes back to Armentrout. Armentrout gets it back to Christensen. Christensen's shot is a glove save by the Minnetonka goalie. 10 minutes and 4 seconds left here in the first period. The score is Minnetonka 1, CCHA 0. Johnson then to take the face off. Swarthout to the left. Ulrich to the right. Puck comes over to Swarthout. Swarthout gets it back to Sestefant. Sestefant sends it back down low. Ulrich picks it up. Sends it back to Sestefant. Sestefant down to Swarthout. Swarthout will double back. Uses the handle on it. Gets to the board. And it's loose. Tonka will pick it up. Comes out of the zone. It's a one-on-one. Shot. Nice save by Lila. Sestefant takes a smack at it. Loses his stick. Picks it back up again. Picked up by Swarthout. Back behind the net. He sends it across ice. Picked up by Ulrich. Ulrich will double back. Sends it across ice to Schwartzbaugh. Schwartzbaugh's shot goes over the net. Sestefant will keep it in. Picked up. Minnetonka carries it in, shorthanded. Gets it back behind the net. Schwartzbaugh back for it. Johnson picks it up. Johnson throws it back to Sestefant. Sestefant hits Johnson, but it just bounces off the stick, and we're going to get an offsides call on Minnetonka. 8:47 left here in the first period. 7 seconds left in the power play for CCHA. Reichert line will come out. Heinert will be to his left. Hagen to the right. Rasmussen is going to be playing defense, so Rasmussen and Davis out back. Reichert steps in. Puck comes out. Picked up by Heiner. Davis throws it along, or Rasmussen throws it alongside the boards. Hagen comes in. His stick gets lifted. Puck drifts into the corner. Puck comes out, broken up by Heiner. Heiner's able to keep it in the zone. Reichert there to help him out. Puck comes back. Cross ice. Picked up by Tonka. Tonka carries it in. Poke checked away. Picked up by Davis behind the net. He sends it over to the boards to Reichert. Reichert's got Hagen. He'll flip it up, but that's going to be an icing call. 8 minutes and 6 seconds left here in the first period. Score is still Tonka 1, CCHA 0. Lorenzen line out there now, along with Christensen and Erickson. Puck gets deflected. Stays in the zone. Comes back. Minnetonka's shot goes wide. Erickson with it. Throws it alongside the boards. Gets picked up by Lorenzen or Christensen. Christensen comes in. Gets pushed off the puck. Brings it into the corner. Throws it out front. Gets blocked by the goalie. Puck comes out. Back with it is Christensen. Christensen throws it back to Erickson. Erickson gets blocked off that. Lorenzen comes in. Minnetonka carries that puck out. Broken up by Lorenzen. Armentrout has it now. He throws it up to Erickson. Erickson hits Lorenzen. Lorenzen loses a handle on it, but puts it into the zone. Picked up by Ulrich. Ulrich doubles back. Comes around front. He'll come in. He's going to get a shot off. Brings it back behind the net. Shot. Lorenzen looking to get a shot off on it. He does. It goes over the net, though. Swarthout picks it up. He poke checks it up to Eide. Eide sends it down point. Gets to the line. Another shot on net. Save. Puck comes up to Johnson. Johnson shot. Glove saved by Minnetonka goalie. Good pressure, boys. Got to keep that up. Johnson line out there. Ulrich line out there. Johnson's going to be to the right. Swartz out to the left. Out back is Schwartzba and Setstefan. Puck's back behind the net. Good pressure. Puck comes out. You get thrown all the way down. Picked up by Setstefan. He throws across ice for Schwartzba. Schwartzba throws it up along the boards. Trying to hit Johnson. Just out of his reach. Picked up by Tonka. Tonka fans on the shot. Comes back to Ulrich, and Johnson puts it on Ulrich's stick. Ulrich sends it back to the point for Schwartzba, and he sends it right back to Ulrich. Ulrich tries to get it centered. Can't. Bounces round. Setstefan will pick up that puck. Brings it back behind the net. Throws it alongside the boards. Picked up by Tonka. Back down for Setstefan. Setstefan backhands it. Gets up to Swarthout. Swarthout flips it up the boards. Hits Schwartzbau. Schwartzbau to Ulrich. Ulrich in. Puck comes to Schwartzbau, but picked up by Minnetonka. Reichert down to the corner with it. He overskates it. Puck comes over to out in front. Hagen picks it up. Sends it back to Schwartzbau. Schwartzbau throws it on the boards. Hits Reichert. Reichert's just going to dump it in and then have Hagen chase after it. Hagen goes back behind the boards. Heiner alongside now. Puck comes out. Davis able to keep it in. He's able to keep it in again. Comes to Heiner. Heiner gets it to Hagen. Hagen tries to poke check it up to Reichert, but it comes back out to Setstefan. Setstefan backhands it. Reichert sends it up and hits Hagen. Hagen pushes it into the corner. Heiner and Hagen will chase after it back behind the net. Minnetonka will carry it out. Reichert breaks up that play. Still fighting for it. Gets it. Flips it up. Gets it out of the zone. Back to Rasmussen. Rasmussen fans on the shot, comes back to Davis. Davis pushes up to the board to the point for Minnetonka. Minnetonka's shot goes wide of the net, picked up by Heinert. Heinert sends it back, jumps, comes back to the point. Shot gets blocked by Reichert. Reichert will just flip it out of the zone, and they hit him in the shin, so he's going off for a line change. Puck comes back to Rasmussen. Rasmussen along the boards with it. Puck comes out to Lorenzen. Lorenzen goes back behind the net. Brings it up alongside the boards. Christensen gets the puck out of the zone. And we're going to get a hand pass. Hand pass. Face-off will be to the right of Lila. The rest of the Lorenzen line will come out. It's going to be Christensen, Eriksson, and Lorenzen up front. Out back is Armentrout. And I believe it's Heidi. It is. Puck comes out to the point. Minnetonka tries to send it back in. But Christensen's fighting for him alongside of it, and he comes away with it. He gets it to Eriksson. Eriksson coming in, gets picked, but goes ahead and picks it back. Puck comes all the way down around the corner, picked up by Heidi. Poke checks it away. Christensen's just going to flick it out of the zone. Lorenzen skating after it as it jumped over the Minnetonka player's stick. Lorenzen back behind the net. Ulrich comes in, picked up by Heidi. Heidi's going to bounce it along the boards just as Ulrich pegs up. Puck to come back around the line. Puck comes all the way down, and that's going to be an icing call on Minnetonka. And the puck will come all the way down with 3 minutes and 20 seconds left here in the first period. Score is Tonka 1, CCHA 0. Good pressure so far here in the second half of the first period. Nobody's flat-footed. Johnson then take the face-off, Swarthout to the left, Ulrich to the right. Puck comes back. Sestefan's not able to keep it in, but he controls the puck. Turns it along the boards, hits Swarthout. Swarthout turns around and hits Ulrich, and Ulrich will bump it in. Puck comes back behind the net. Minnetonka. Swarthout's there. Ulrich checks it back. Puck comes to Sestefan. Sestefan will throw across ice. Good play. Picked up by Minnetonka, though. They throw it across ice. Sestefan's there to break it away to Johnson. Johnson hits Ulrich. Ulrich shot on point. Glove save by the Minnetonka goalie. 2 minutes and 47 seconds left here in the first period. Ulrich, Johnson, and Swarthout line will stay out there, along with Swartzbow and Sestefan. Puck on point to Minnetonka. Really shoves it over to the corner. Comes out to center ice for Minnetonka. Sestefan breaks that up. Comes over, picked up by Swartzbow. Swartzbow shovels it up. Gets it to Ulrich. Ulrich loses it in the corner. Swartzbow back to Swarthout. Swarthout's shot goes wide of the net. Johnson sends it over in the corner for Swarthout. Swarthout leaves it behind for Ulrich. Puck comes cross ice. Reichert's in there. He's able to break up the play. Sestefan sends it along the back of the boards. Minnetonka has it. Sestefan and Reichert press run after it. Puck goes back. Picked up by Swartzbow. Puck is deflected over the net. Puck comes along the top. Broken up. Chasing after to Sestefan. Puck comes out to Ulrich. Ulrich just got Swarthout. Hits him. Swarthout gets around one player. It comes in. Shot. Saved by the Minnetonka goalie. Reichert sends it up to Sestefan. Sestefan fighting for it alongside the boards. Reichert comes in to help out. Comes out of the zone. Hagen controls. Sends it back to Davis. Davis will bounce it off the boards. Hits Hagen. Back to Davis. Davis' shot gets deflected. Goes wide of the net. Puck comes out. Picked up by Rasmussen. Rasmussen goes back. He controls it. Goes skated in. Drops it for Heinert. Heinert tries to get it over to Hagen. Back to Rasmussen. Rasmussen shot gets deflected into the corner. He sends it back behind the net. Lorenzen back into the corner. Tries to get it. Davis will step up, keep it in the zone, looking for a little help. Lorenzen comes in to help out. Puck comes out of the zone though. Davis controls it, sends it back to Heinert. Heinert loses a grip on it. Picked up by Minnetonka. Heinert's still on it. He poke checks it away. It'll come out of the zone. Just out of Christensen's reach. Puck comes back into the zone. Picked up by Davis. Davis will shovel it up to Rasmussen. Rasmussen's shot gets deflected, but Christensen's right on it. And right back out of the zone. Back to Eide. Eide will pick it up. He doubles back. His puck gets deflected into the corner. Picked up by Christensen. Christensen fighting for it alongside the boards. He comes away with it. And that's the end of the first period. Hold on, folks. CCHA is putting on some good pressure. Tonka's up 1-0 right now, but hopefully that's just temporarily. We'll be back in 60 seconds. All right, tonight's game is brought to you by Starbucks. I know it's a little late in the afternoon to grab a Starbucks, but early in the morning on your way to work, grab one. Here we go for the second period. Looks like the Lorenzen line will step back out on the ice. Puck's in the center of the ice. Puck comes out to Armentrout. Armentrout sends it up, picked up by Minnetonka. Minnetonka will push it off the boards. Eide throws it back along the boards. Puck comes down deep. Armentrout chasing after it. He'll shove it along the boards, trying to hit Christensen. Puck comes out. Lila save. Goes into the corner for Eide. Puck comes back. Over into the corner. Christensen has it. So we'll send it back, hoping for a player, but it's picked up by Tonka. Tonka centers it, broken up by Eriksson. Puck goes down deep, picked up by Eide. Eide will double back, send it up to Christensen. And Christensen tries to hit Eriksson again. Lorenzen, and does. Lorenzen carries it into the zone. Trying to throw it out front, it gets blocked. Puck comes back, Eriksson's right there, picked up by Minnetonka, and they will throw it across ice. Nice check by Lorenzen. Tonka comes in, shot, save Lila. Sestefan will pick it up back behind the net. He throws it up. He'll hit Ulrich. Just out of Ulrich's reach, goes to the board, back to Sestefan. Sestefan hits Hagen or Johnson. Johnson loses a grip on it, gets it to Ulrich. Ulrich's shot goes wide of the net, picked up by Swarthout. Swarthout will cut in, looks to get the shot off, brings it back to Sestefan. Sestefan shows it, shot on net. Johnson tries to get the recovery on that, sends it to Ulrich. Ulrich to Johnson, back to Sestefan. Sestefan shot. Swarthout trying to deflect that play. Puck comes on. Shot. Nice save by Lila. Puck goes out front. Shot. Save by Lila again. Nice job. Puck comes up to Ulrich. Ulrich sends a cross ice, gets Swarthout. Swarthout comes in. His shot gets blocked. He bounces it off the boards back behind the net. Reichert into the corner with it. He centers it. Hits Ulrich. Ulrich is hooked. And we're going to get a penalty on Tonka. 12 minutes and 33 seconds left here in the second period. CCHA will go up on the power play for the next 2 minutes. Christensen steps in to take the face off. He's got Lorenzen to the left, Erickson to the right. Out back is Schwartzbau and Sestefan. Up comes the Schwartzbau. Schwartzbau shot is saved by the Minnetonka goalie. So we're going to do this face off all over again after 4 seconds. Click off the clock here. Click off. Christensen in to take face off again. Puck comes over to the boards for Erickson. Puck comes out, goes back behind. Picked up by Tonka. Tonka gets it to nice goal! Shot by Lorenzen. Just went over the Tonka goalie. Puck comes back to Christensen. Christensen sends it up the point to Sestefan. Sestefan wraps it around to Christensen. Christensen shot save. Back to Lorenzen. Lorenzen throws it off the boards. And a little breakout. Nice breakup by Schwartzbau. Picked up by Sestefan. Sestefan will get to it. Gets it up to Schwartzbau. Picked up by Minnetonka. Schwartzbau, Minnetonka. Lorenzen in helping him out. Puck comes out to Sestefan. Sestefan will skate it into the zone. Throws it cross ice to Christensen. Christensen shot. And a save by Minnetonka. Good pressure, boys. 11 minutes, 30 seconds left here in the second period. 57 seconds left in the power play for CCHA. Score is Tonka 1, CCHA 0, but the boys are buzzing. Johnson then takes the face off. He's got Ulrich to the right. Swarthout to the left. Out back is Eide and Armentrout. Johnson leans in, gets the puck back to Eide. Eide looking for a lane, sends it back over to Armentrout. Armentrout sends it down to Ulrich. Ulrich back to Swarthout. Swarthout to Ulrich. Back to Armentrout. Armentrout to Ulrich. Ulrich back to Swarthout. Swarthout gets it to Armentrout. Armentrout shot. Save. Hagen takes a shot at it, Johnson takes a shot at it. Comes out to Armentrout. Armentrout's shot gets deflected in the corner, picked up by Ulrich. Ulrich sends it down back to Johnson. Johnson to Swarthout, I think. And that puck gets flipped up and out. And that'll pretty much do it for the power play. Both teams are at full strength now. Tonka throws it up the boards, and it ends up deep into the zone. Armentrout back for it. He sends a cross ice. Hits Hagen. Or Ulrich. Ulrich comes in. He shot. And a save by the Minnetonka goalie. 10 minutes, 14 seconds left here in the second period. Lincoln, Heinert, and Hagen line come out. Heinert will be to the left, Hagen to the right. Back is Davis and Rasmussen. Puck comes back to Davis. Davis' shot gets blocked, but right on the stick of Minnetonka. Back is Rasmussen. There's going to be a penalty here. I'm not sure for what. I think he grabbed him, and that might have been the interference call. Yeah, holding. So Rasmussen will go to the box, and we will be on the penalty kill for the next 2 minutes. 9 minutes and 56 seconds left here in the second. Lorenzen steps in to take the face off. That comes out to the point. Over. Erickson up front with him. Right back is Sestefan and Armentrout. And the Packer brings it up to the point. Shot saved by Lila. Puck's out front. Gets cleared. Erickson has it. He'll slide it over to Lorenzen. Lorenzen skates it in. He'll bring it back behind the net. He leaves it in the corner. Swarth out there. He'll pin it up alongside the boards. Minnetonka finally comes away with it. Minnetonka throws cross ice. Lila sends it over in the corner. Sestefan has it. He'll flip it out, and it'll come out of the zone. Minnetonka brings it in center ice. He loses control. It comes back to Sestefan. Sestefan puts it to Armentrout. The shot gets flicked into Lila, and Lila's going to cover with 59 seconds left in the penalty kill. 8 minutes, 54 seconds left here in the second period. Johnson up to take the face off. Fourth out up front with them. Shot's deflected, goes over the net, goes into the corner, back down low. And a little catch back behind the net. Comes up to the point for Minnetonka. They skate it in. Come up top. That goes down low again. Up comes in. Back to the point. Shot. Blocked by Davis. Another shot. Saved by Lila. Davis will pick it up. He shoves it over to Swarthout. Swarthout gets it into the zone. He's fighting for it alongside the boards. That goes back behind the net. With 3 seconds left in the penalty kill. Both teams are now at full strength. Minnetonka carries into the zone. Shot. Easy save for Lila as he covers with 7 minutes and 49 seconds left here in the second period. Score is still Tonka 1, CC 0. Reichert out there to take the face off. Hagen and Heinert out there with him. Out back is Sestefan and Eide. Puck goes back behind the net. Caught by, or Schwartzbaugh, sorry, not Eide. Up comes out to Schwartzbaugh. He sends it up. Hits Hagen. Hagen clears it in. He's got Reichert off to his left. He brings it into the corner. He drops it for Sestefan. Sestefan shot. Heinert couldn't get a stick on. It's a breakaway. Nice job by Sestefan. Breaking that puck up. Not sure what the penalty is here. For tripping, he didn't fall. But he didn't fall. Isn't the definition of tripping falling? Because I don't see a fall there, but apparently the ref does. Sorry, a little emotional on camera. Sestefan will go into the box for tripping. We are going to be back on the penalty kill here. Lorenzen in to take the face off. Rasmussen out there with him. Excuse me, Christensen out there with him out front. Rasmussen and Davis out back. Minnetonka has the puck at the point. Shot. Goes wide of the net. Lorenzen keeping the puck alongside the boards. Puck goes into the corner. Davis picks it up. He sends it back into the corner. He runs in there to help out. Minnetonka brings it down low. Comes up to the point. Rasmussen, Pastrin. Back to the point for Minnetonka. Shot. Puck goes wide of the net. Gets deflected and goes wide, I should say. Puck comes up to the point. Christensen tries to puck check it away. Puck goes across the crease. No damage there. Puck comes up to the point for Minnetonka. Shot. Nice save by Lila. Sends it over to the boards. Minute left in the penalty kill. Puck comes back. Shot. Save by Lila. Puck comes out and they'll get out of the zone. Christensen chasing after it. Putting some pressure on. Puck comes down low. And that's going to be an offsides call. Or an icing call. Sorry, icing. 6 minutes and 1 second left here in the second period. 45 seconds left in the penalty kill. Score is still Tonka 1, CC 0. Faceoff will be down in the Minnetonka zone. Johnson and Erickson out front. Eide and Armentrout out back. Puck goes over to Minnetonka, but it's broken up by Johnson. Johnson sends it in deep, and Erickson helping him out. Erickson keeping that puck in the corner. Comes over to Minnetonka. Minnetonka starts moving up the ice. It gets deflected. Erickson takes it. Johnson will throw it down deep and then chase after it. Minnetonka picks up the puck. Comes out to center ice. He'll be able to carry it in. Drops it. Puck goes wide of the net. Johnson alongside the boards. 10 seconds left in the penalty kill. Puck comes back behind the net. Puck comes up to the point. Not the player can't handle it. That's it. Both teams are at full strength. Swarthout comes out on the ice. Puck comes back to hit Swarthout. Swarthout gets laid out at center ice, and that's going to be a penalty on Tonka. It was kind of a gift, to be honest with you, and I think it was a feel-bad penalty for the tripping call. So Tonka is going to go in the box, and CC will go back up on a 2-minute power play with 5 minutes left in the second period. Johnson steps in to take the face off. Ulrich to the right, Swarthout to the left. Out back is Schwartzbaugh and Sestafont. Johnson gets it back to Schwartzbaugh. Schwartzbaugh to Sestafont. Sestafont back to Schwartzbaugh. Schwartzbaugh sends it. Oh! Nice shot by Ulrich. It's deflected off behind the net. Swarthout has it right now. He doubles back. He'll bring it in. His shot. It's deflected. Comes out. Sestafont will get back for it, though. Sestafont comes around the net. He brings it up. Skates it into the zone. Brings it back behind the net. Centers it. Picked up by Minnetonka. Minnetonka bounces it off the boards. Has it in the corner. Johnson pins him up alongside. Ulrich there to help out. Sends it up to Sestafont. Sestafont shot. Goes over the net. Comes back to Schwartzbaugh. Schwartzbaugh fans on his shot. Tonka will pick it up. Got a minute left in the power play. Shot. Nice save by Leo. And he's going to cover. Minute and 2 seconds left here in the power play for CC. 4 minutes and 2 seconds left here in the second period. Lorenzen line out there. Erickson will be to the right. Christensen's out there too. Up goes into the corner for Armentrout. Armentrout doubles back. He throws it up the ice. Not sure why we're still on the power play. Up comes out. Picked up by Eide. Eide tries to throw it up. Comes back to Eide. Eide gets it to Armentrout. Armentrout over to Lorenzen. Lorenzen will carry it in. Has it in the corner. Doubles back. Brings it back out. Center set. Oh! Christensen just couldn't get a stick on it. Shot. He sends it over to Lorenzen. Lorenzen couldn't get a stick on it. Puck comes out. Picked up by Minnetonka. That puck will come all the way down, and it will not be icing. Armitrout will get there. That comes up the boards. 15 seconds left in the power play here. That comes down, and that should be an icing call, but it's not. Armitrout picks it up. He sends it alongside the boards. Puck comes back down low. Armitrout chasing after it. Gets it up to Heinert. Heinert flips it up, passes it overhead, and picked up by the goal. Armitrout trying to get it to Hagen for the Heinert, and they get picked up by Minnetonka. First shot was saved by Lila. Second one was on point. 2 minutes and 51 seconds left here in the second. Score is Tonka 2, CCHA 0. Right line will stay out there. Hagen's to the right, Heinert to the left. Davis and Rasmussen up back. That comes to Rasmussen. He'll flip it up into the Tonka zone. Picked up by Heinert. Heinert loses control of it. He comes back. Rasmussen able to deflect him. Davis pokes that puck back behind the net. Puck's chase comes up to the point. Comes back down low. Goes back behind the net. Puck comes cross ice. Shot. Saved by Leland. He's going to cover that. 2 minutes, 19 seconds left here in the second. Score is 2-0 Tonka over CC. Nets and goal are pretty even this game. CC's been up by a couple of shots, but through the power plays, they've evened out from a Minnetonka perspective. Puck comes out. Tonka throws one on Lila. Lila throws it into the corner. Picked up by Johnson. Johnson and Davis with it in the corner. Still tied up. Johnson digging for it. Puck comes out. Tonka has it. Loses grip on it. And there's going to be an offsides call. Offsides is going to come all the way down into the Minnetonka zone. It's a little odd. Ulrich line out there. Johnson to his right. Swarthout to the left. Estefan and Schwartzbauer out back. Ulrich in to take the face off. Puck comes back to Sestefan. Jumps his stick. Comes up center ice. He controls it. He sends it back alongside the boards. Puck comes back to Schwartzbauer. Schwartzbauer sends it alongside the boards. To Ulrich. Back to Sestefan. Puck comes out to Sestefan again. Alongside of the net. Up front. And goal. All right. And goal by Tonka. Score is now Tonka 3, CC 0. Lorenzen, Christian, and Erickson line out there. That comes out. That comes to Eide. Eide gets it up the boards. It's alongside. Comes back to Armentrout. Armentrout flips around, puts it on the stick of a player. Lila, nice save. There's a shot gets on. Armentrout in the corner with it now. Tonka player sitting on it. Puck comes out. Erickson with it. Armentrout flips it up. Comes to the point. And, Lorenzen's got a breakaway here. Shot goes wide of the net. And he tries to keep it in and does, but only temporarily. Puck comes all the way down. Says it was tipped. Armentrout with it in the corner. Gets it to Riker. Riker kicks it ahead. He's tied up with a stick. Puck comes out. Armentrout throws it back into the boards. Armentrout with it in the corner. Riker in to help him out. Comes out to Heidi. Heidi sends it up to Christensen. Christensen comes around, wraps it out front. Heidi fans on the shot. Picks it back up, throws it back into the zone, but it was a quarter step away from being on sides. 18.9 seconds left here in the second period. Not sure why they're bringing the puck all the way down for offsides call into the other team's zone, but apparently that's how these refs roll. Record to take the face off. Goes into the corner for Davis. Davis picks it up, throws it back behind the net. Puck comes up alongside the boards. The Minnetonka picked it up. Rasmussen poke checking at it. Puck comes up to the top. Oh, there is a penalty. Shot saved by Leela. Didn't know that. We are on the penalty kill. So 2 seconds left in the second period, 1 minute 44 in the penalty kill. Record able to break that away. Shot is blocked, and that is the end of the second period. All right, folks, stay tuned. We'll be back in 60. All right, here we go for the third period. Swarthout's going to take the face off. Rasmussen to the left. Ulrich to the right. Back is Davis and Rasmussen. And we're going to get a whistle. Not quite sure. Not quite sure what this is. Riker takes the face off. Heiner picked it up. Puck comes back into the Tonka zone, and we're going to get a whistle for, I think, icing. Appears to be icing. Minute and 34 seconds left in the penalty kill. Puck comes all the way back behind the net. Chasing after it. Puck comes back. And catch behind the net. Rasmussen breaks that up. Puck comes over to the board. Swarthout to put some pressure on. Puck comes down into the corner. Minnetonka sends it back. Up to the point. Shot deflected. Swarthout gets it out of the zone, tried to deflect it over to Johnson, but just couldn't connect with a bouncing puck. Puck comes out front, and a goal squirts through Leela's 5-hole. Not much on it, just squirted through. All right, both teams will be at full strength. Score is Tonka 4, CC 0. Evan Heinert and Hagen line out there now. Heinert's going to be to the left, Hagen to the right. Out back is Schwartzbau and Sestafant. Reichert in for the faceoff. Puck gets dropped, comes back to Minnetonka. Minnetonka sends it up the boards. Sestafant going into the corner with it. He gets the puck up the boards. Up front. Nice job by Schwartzbau breaking that play up. Reichert pestering back behind the boards. Able to tie the puck up. He's still going after it. Schwartzbau in to help him out. Schwartzbau comes away with it, flips it up the ice, comes up to the point. Shot, nice save by Leela. Heinert sends it up the boards to Hagen. Hagen poke checks it up alongside, skipping into the Minnetonka zone. That comes out to Heinert. Heinert sends it back into the corner for Hagen. Hagen scoots it around the boards. Reichert in to pick it up. He gets tied up. Heinert there for Hagen. Hagen one times it back, but it's wide of the net. Minnetonka picks it up, sends it across ice, picked up by Sestafant. Sends it over to Hagen. Hagen's shot. Weak one on net. Lorenzen was right there, but the Tonka goalie covered with 13 minutes and 1 second left here in the third period. Christensen, Erickson, and Lorenzen out front. Erickson to the left, Lorenzen to the right. Christensen gets a face-off, sends it back to Eide. Eide's shot right on point. Glove save, we'll do it all over again. Christensen steps in. Face-off goes over to the boards. Comes up to the point. Eide's able to keep it in. Tries to get it up to Christensen. The puck comes out, comes back. Armentrout will pick it up. He throws it alongside the boards to Erickson. Puck comes out to Christensen. Christensen loses a handle on him temporarily. His shot gets deflected off a skate from Minnetonka. So Erickson able to poke check that puck, keep it into the zone. Puck comes out to center ice. Shot. Nice save by Leela. Puck comes out. Lorenzen scoops it up to Christensen. Christensen poke checks that into the Tonka zone and heads off for a line change. Puck comes out to Eide. Eide sends it up to Ulrich. Ulrich loses it, comes back out. Tonka will carry it in. Swarthout alongside the boards, picked up by Armentrout. Armentrout shovels it up ahead to Ulrich. It's a 2-on-1 with Ulrich and Johnson. Ulrich tries to center it. Puck comes out front. And Tonka will skate it out and just dump it into the zone. Davis picks it up back behind. Puck checks it up to Ulrich. Puck comes up to the point for Tonka. Tonka's shot goes wide of the net. Rasmussen to Johnson. Johnson picks it up. Sends it up to Ulrich. Ulrich tries to deflect it out to Swarthout, but it gets picked up by the Tonka player who sends it deep down into the zone. Comes free, picked up by Ulrich. Ulrich has got Heinert off to the left. Puck goes into the corner. Reichert in to break up the play. He's able to keep it in the zone along with Rasmussen's help, but only temporarily. That comes back to Davis. Davis gets it to Reichert. Reichert carries it in and gets it into the corner. Brings it back behind the net. He gets rubbed out. Picked up by Hagen. Hagen tries to throw it out front. He does so, but couldn't quite hit Heinert. Back to Rasmussen. Rasmussen will dump it into the zone. Puck comes out, picked up by Schwartzbauer, sends it in, but right, we're still trying to get back to the line. 10 minutes, 33 seconds left here in the game. Score is Tonka 4, CC 0. Lorenzen line out there, Erickson to the left, Christensen to the right. Out back is Schwartzbauer and Sestafant. That comes over the board. Schwartzbauer swipes at it. It goes into the zone. Chasing after it is Christensen. Goes back, picked up by Minnetonka. Good pressure by Erickson. And Lorenzen. That comes up center ice. Minnetonka controls. They throw it across ice out of everybody's reach. Tonka gets there first. That goes into the corner. So Stefan helping out. That comes back to Schwartzbauer. Schwartzbauer trying to hit Erickson coming across. Puck comes down low to Sestafant. Sestafant rings it along inside the boards, and then Tonka able to keep it in. Comes all the way back down to Schwartzbauer. Schwartzbauer bounces off the boards. Picked up by Minnetonka. Then to Schwartzbauer. Schwartzbauer hits Erickson. Erickson's looking for Christensen. He hits him. Erickson comes in. Shot. Nice save by the Tonka goalie. Schwartzbauer stands up and player. But the puck comes out. Sestafant back for it. He'll pick it up. Throws it across ice. Schwartzbauer smacks at it. Gets into the Tonka zone. Only temporarily. Puck comes alongside the boards. Picked up. Ulrich flips it up. It comes out to center ice, and then it'll come all the way back to Lila. Lila leaves that for Schwartzbauer. Schwartzbauer sends it up the boards, trying to hit Ulrich. Ulrich tied up. Picked up by Sestafant. Sestafant will bounce it off the boards, gets it into the Tonka zone. Ulrich back behind the net with it. And what's going to happen? Tripping call. On whom? Tripping call. Johnson goes to the box. He will go on the penalty kill. Ulrich steps in for the face-off. He's got Schwartz up front with him. Armentrout and Heidi out back. Puck comes back behind the net for Tonka. They're going to play catch for a little bit. Puck comes up to the point. Picked by Schwartz. Schwartz will come in. He gets the puck poke checked away from him. Puck comes back. Armentrout will get it. He throws it alongside the boards. It's Ulrich. Ulrich throws it back out. Tonka will bring it in. Dump it in. Picked up by Heidi. Heidi bounces back. We're going to get a penalty here. And it's going to be an icing call with the penalty, I believe, on Tonka for slashing. All right. 8 minutes and 2 seconds left here in the third period. It'll be 4-on-4 skating for 1 minute and 16 seconds, and then CC will go up in the power play for 44 seconds. Heiner in to take the face off. The puck comes squirting out. Armentrout's back for it. Throws it up to Hagen. Hagen gets it up to Heiner. Heiner leaves it in the zone. Picked up by Hagen. Hagen's shot. Save. Goalie throws it in the corner smartly. Heiner throws it back to Hagen. Hagen's shot gets deflected. He's still got it. Can he get a shot off? And he does, but it's covered by the Minnetonka goalie. .53 seconds left for 4-on-4. Reichert steps in to take the face off. We're ready for Rasmussen and Davis out back. He's got Hagen. Puck gets tied up. Puck comes out. Rasmussen picks it up. Rasmussen tries to hit Reichert. It comes back out. Picked up by Davis. Davis will dump it into the zone. Reichert chasing in after it. Puck goes into the corner and goes back behind the net. Puck comes out, center ice. Just outside of the zone. Hagen picks it up. He sends it cross ice to Rasmussen. Rasmussen will skate it in. His shot saved by the Tonka goalie. 7:01 left in the game. 15 seconds left in quarter and four. Then it'll be a 44-second power play for CC. Lorenzen in to take the face off. Erickson to his right. Out back is Davis and Rasmussen. Puck goes into the corner. Erickson chasing after it. He'll pick it up. Trying to get it over to Lorenzen. Picked up by Erickson. Erickson sends it back to the point for Rasmussen. Rasmussen sends it back down low for Erickson. CC is at full strength. Puck gets deflected, goes back behind the net. Christensen there with it. Sends it back to Lorenzen. Lorenzen back to Christensen. Christensen's shot is deflected back behind the net. Puck comes all the way out of the zone and will come all the way down. No icing will be called. That's Rasmussen will get there first. He doubles back, gets checked. So that's going to be a penalty for cross-checking. All right, so it'll be 5-on-3 for 14 seconds and then 5-on-4 for another 2 minutes. Johnson up to take the face off. He's got Swarthout to the left, Ulrich to the right. Out back is Sestefan and Schwartzbau. Ulrich gets it back to Sestefan. Sestefan over to Swarthout. Swarthout shot save. That goes into the corner. Tonka gets there first. Sestefan able to keep it in. Puck gets flipped out of the zone. The lucky puck gets a fan. Puck will be the face-off will be to the right of the Tonka goalie. 5-on-4 skating here. Johnson gets the puck, sends it back to Sestefan. Sestefan's shot gets deflected and goes wide of the net. Johnson in the corner with it, gets it to Ulrich. Ulrich comes away with it. He sends it up to the point for Schwartzbau. Schwartzbau's shot gets blocked, and the puck gets thrown out of the zone. Schwartzbau back with it. He doubles back. Goes across ice to Johnson. Johnson carries it in. Leaves it for Swarthout. Swarthout throws across ice to Schwartzbau. Schwartzbau's shot doesn't get much on it. Comes out. Sestefan breaks that play up. Puck comes over to Swarthout. Swarthout carries it in. With 1 minute and 30 left here in the power play for the CC. Picked up by Sestefan at center ice. Sestefan gets it over to Swarthout. Swarthout carries it in, gets a poke checked away, and Minnetonka will carry it back out. They dump it into the zone. Allow for a line change. Picked up by Sestefan. Sestefan will carry it all the way in, but we're going to get an offsides call. Reichert line out there now. Heiner to the left. Hagen to the right. Fanned on by Eide. Eide will carry it into the zone. He's got Heiner to his left. He takes a shot, save. Heiner takes a shot at it, but it's covered by the Tonka goalie. 5 minutes and 1 second left here in the game. 46 seconds left in the power play. The score is Tonka 4, CCHA 0. Record steps in for the face-off. Goes towards the net, picked up by Tonka. Tonka will throw it alongside the boards. Armitrout not able to keep it in. Puck comes out. Shot goes over the net. Back behind the net. Over in the corner. Back behind the net. Into the corner. Up to the point. Puck goes back. Picked up by Eide. Eide will send it back to Armitrout. He'll calm it down. He sends it up to Heinert. Heinert loses it. Gets it to Hagen. Picked up by Heinert. Heinert's shot comes in. Gets deflected. Goes into the corner. Reichert in after it along with Heinert. Heinert will pick it up. Skates it up. Sends it over to Hagen. Hagen gets it back to Armitrout. Just jumps Armitrout's face. Both teams are at full strength. Armitrout sends that puck up to Hagen. Hagen brings it in. His shot right on point and saved by the Minnetonka goalie. 4 minutes left in the period. Christensen in to take the face off. He's got Eriksson to the left. Lorenzen to the right. Puck comes out, gets deflected out front, goes into the corner. Puck comes back to Rasmussen at the point. His shot, face save by the Minnetonka goalie. Davis able to keep it in, but Minnetonka comes away with it. Minnetonka's got a little bit, comes out, picked up by Davis. Davis will hit Eriksson. Eriksson's shot gets deflected by Minnetonka. Back behind it, Lorenzen. Puck comes over. Rasmussen able to keep it in the zone, but just temporarily. Minnetonka comes in. Have it behind the net. Goes into the corner, comes up to the point. Shot, saved by Lila. Tonka controls. It's nice save by Lila. As Tonka had point-length range on it. Great save. Puck comes up to the point. Back down low. Davis chasing after it. Puck comes cross ice. Got to put some pressure on, boys. Shot deflected into the netting, back behind the net, and we will get a whistle. 2 minutes and 33 seconds left here in the game. Ulrich line will come out. Swartz out in Ulrich, and I think Johnson's going to take the face off. Swartz foul and Sestefan out back. Puck gets deflected out of Swartz out, goes into the corner for Ulrich. Johnson comes in to help out. Sestefan throws it back behind the net. Swartz chasing after it. Johnson comes in to help out. Picked up by Sestefan. He throws it back to Johnson. Johnson throws it across to Sestefan. Sestefan loses it. Comes back to Sestefan. He hits Swarthout. Swarthout gets pulled checked away. Comes in. Stands on the shot. Another shot. Saved by Lila. Picked up by Swartzbaugh. Swartzbaugh gets checked off it. Sestefan throws it up. Tied up in the boards with Swartzbaugh. Puck comes back to Johnson. Will come back behind the net. We'll get a penalty there with 1 minute and 45 seconds left. Looks like it's going to be a high stick call. All right, 1 minute and 45 seconds left here in the game. Shots and goal are pretty even with 26 for Tonka, 25 for CC. And CC will go up on the power play for the last minute and 45 seconds. Riker didn't take the face off. Hagen to the left, Heiner to the right, Armentrout and Idea back. Puck goes into the corner, rings all the way around. Tonka will carry it out. Get it out of the zone, goes back behind the net. Almendrop picks it up, throws it up along the boards. Hagen flicks it to Heinert. Heinert will carry it in. Heinert looking to center it. It's picked up by Hagen. Hagen doubles back. Has to get it over to Heinert. Heinert has it in the corner. Sends it up to Armentrout. Back to Heinert. Heinert doubles back. Bring it down into the corner. Puck goes off of the face mask of the goalie. Goes back behind. It's kept in to Eide. Puck goes in the corner for Heinert. Heinert throws it back to Hagen. Hagen gets a poke checked away. Comes all the way over. And that's going to come all the way down for an icing call with about 3 seconds left here in the game. And that's it, folks. With 43 seconds left in the game, we're going to blow it for time. Final score here is Tonka 4, CC 0. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Have a great rest of your night. Remember to patronize our sponsor, Starbucks, and we'll be back for the next game.